Hey everyone, surprise! We got the CEO of King 4-Day Enterprises as well as the announcer and first K-Fan host John Notwoodman to come here for an interview. Hi John.
Nice to see you again, HyperCam. Hello to you too, Meowth.
A pleasure to have you here, Mr. Notwoodman. Thank you for coming to this interview. So, first off, since you're the main man, robot behind the original event, I bet a lot of us were wondering, how did the idea come into place?
So, there's this cool feature on YouTube that allows you to do community polls. The tournament originally started out as just that, a single poll with 3 or 4 choices on what future event day the fans would want. But eventually, I decided that perhaps instead of one single poll, a 16-bracket fighting tournament would be much nicer! Finding good contestants ended up being hard, though, so I figured, why not have the fans suggest who should be in the tournament, since they're the ones voting, after all?
I suppose one could say that this is a very fan-driven event.
Indeed! I know we've had some rough times with our fans in the past, but in the end, they will be the ones determining the fates of our fighters. Which, by the way, to the viewers at home, I hope you've been remembering to vote responsibly!
Yeah guys, did you know that at least 400 people have died from irresponsible voting?
Anyways, Mr. Notwoodman, it seems as though you're too busy to actually be hosting the tournament. Care to explain why?
Well, around the time we got the channel back in March, an important auction came around that ended up hindering my availability. So I had to pass the role on to our previous winner, Unregistered HyperCam 2!
Yes, hi, that's me, I'm HyperCam.
Of course, after that I had gotten into some legal troubles, so all I actually had time to do for the tournament were the announcer lines. Had it not been for our hard-working team, the tournament wouldn't be as big as it is now!
Thanks Hinchy, Meth Crystal, and Wolfman, you're all cool.
Indeed they are.
On to the next question. What are your thoughts on the new competition?
From what I've seen, our new competition is certainly an interesting lineup. Some characters feel like they should have been here all along, while others feel like new territory that would be interesting to cover. Although in all honesty, I had trouble recognizing a couple of the newcomers at first.
Like Hobart, for example?
Nonsense! Hobart is one of the most iconic characters of this generation!
Well then, next question. There have been multiple reports of a wooden robot with a similar name to yours popping in and out of the studio. I believe his name was, Woodman? Is there any relation between you and this mysterious robot?
Definitely not. Woodman and I have no relation. You can even tell so by my last name.
IDK. Woodman and Notwoodman sound pretty similar. Are you sure you're not distant cousins or something?
Of course not. There is no relation whatsoever.
Well, if you say so. Now, on to our final question. There have been rumors that the attack on Mr. Bean might be connected to your recent case at the local mansion. Do you have anything to say on that?
No, not me. I saw that file thing and my name isn't even on it, so you can be sure there's no relation. Glad to hear Mr. Bean is getting better, though. I plan to visit him this afternoon, actually.
Alright, thank you for the clarification. Well, that about does it for this interview, but HyperCam and I aren't done just yet, because we need to give a few shout-outs to one of our gracious sponsors who help make these interviews possible. This interview is sponsored by Barclays College of Science, who contacted us out of seemingly thin air to support the tournament. Sign-ups for the spring semester begin soon, so be sure to register today.
I'll never register, but you should at Barclays School. Sign up for another day Quad City DJs versus SiIvaGunner.
Be sure to catch us next interview as the first round of the losers bracket begins.